Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a topic that might sound a little intense, but it's absolutely crucial for any business that wants to succeed. ISO 9001. We're going to break it down, pull back the curtain, and show you exactly how it can take a business from pure chaos to a place of real, lasting customer confidence. So, let me just ask you this. If you're a manager, a team lead, a business owner, does your day ever feel like you're just running around putting out fires? You solve one crisis and two more immediately pop up. It's totally exhausting, and it feels like you're just stuck, never really moving forward. And this scenario is probably all too familiar. You've got customer complaints piling up, your best people are so swamped with damage control that they have zero time to think about making things better for the future. And the worst part, the same darn problems keep coming back over and over again. If that hits a little too close to home, then you are definitely in the right place. Okay, so that leads us right into our first section, because the real answer to all that chaos is a serious focus on quality. And I'm not talking about quality as some fluffy, vague idea. I mean a systematic, thought-out approach to the way you actually run your business.
Steve Jobs really nailed it with this one. You can have the slickest marketing campaigns in the world, but at the end of the day, quality isn't about what you say you are, it's about what your customer actually experiences. That real-world interaction they have with your product or your service, that's the only thing that really, truly matters.
So what is ISO 9001 really? Well, at its heart, it's a framework. Think of it less like a strict rule book for one specific product, and more like a blueprint for how to manage your business. Its whole purpose is to help a company prove, both to itself and to its customers, that it's capable of delivering consistently, time and time again. It's all about building that trust, that confidence.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the blueprint itself. Because a quality management system, or a QMS, is not just some binder that sits on a shelf collecting dust. It's meant to be a high-level, strategic blueprint for the entire organization.
So the standard makes you start at the very top. First up, what's your purpose? Why does your company even exist? Second, you have to look at your context. What are your internal strengths and weaknesses, and what are the external opportunities and threats? A classic SWOT analysis. Third, who are all your stakeholders? And this isn't just your customers. It's your employees, your suppliers, everyone. What do they need from you? And finally, based on all of that, you define the actual scope, the boundaries of your quality system.
And this quote from the legendary Peter Drucker just brings it all home. The purpose of a business is to create a customer. That strategic framework we just walked through, every single one of those steps is designed to help your organization do that one thing better and more consistently. The QMS is there to serve that fundamental goal.
And this is huge. We have to bust a major myth right now. For years, people thought of ISO 9001 as this clunky, parallel paper system that was totally separate from the real work. The modern 2015 standard completely rejects that idea. It demands that the quality management system be woven directly into your core business processes. It's not another thing you do, it becomes the way you do things.
So, we've got the high-level strategy down. Now, let's see how this blueprint actually translates into action, on the ground, in the day-to-day operations.
This comparison just brilliantly illustrates the massive shift in thinking. The old way was totally reactive. A customer places an order, then you start the process of making it happen. The 2015 standard flips that on its head and makes it proactive. It says quality has to start way back in marketing and R&D. You have to be sure you can actually deliver on your promises before you even offer that thing to a customer.
And this proactive mindset just ripples through absolutely everything. In design and development, it means having clear controls and checkpoints. What about your suppliers? It means having a formal process to evaluate and keep an eye on them, because their quality directly impacts yours. In production, it's all about creating controlled, consistent conditions. The system even makes you plan for preventing human error and have a structured way to handle any changes.
Now, what I find really fascinating is this focus on human error. The standard defines it as an unintentional deviation. We're talking about slips and mistakes that even your best people can make. It recognizes that humans aren't robots. So instead of just blaming people when things go wrong, it pushes the organization to build better, stronger processes that make it harder for those errors to happen in the first place.
Okay, so you've built this amazing integrated system. It's strategic, it's proactive, but how do you actually prove it? How do you show the world you're doing what you say you're doing? Well, that's where the audit comes in. This is how you get that certification.
The initial certification process is actually a two-step dance. Stage 1 is basically a readiness check.
An external auditor comes in, looks at your documentation, and makes sure that, on paper, you're ready for the main event. Once you pass that, you move to stage 2. And this is the deep dive. The auditor is on site, evaluating how you've actually implemented the system to see if you're really walking the walk.
And listen, getting that certificate is not the finish line, not even close. To keep it, you have to go through regular surveillance audits. These are check-ins to make sure the system is being maintained and is still working effectively. It's proof that quality is an ongoing commitment, not a one-and-done project.
Now, we have to clear up a really common misunderstanding. An ISO 9001 certificate is not a sticker that says your product is superior or the best on the market. It's a statement about your process. It means your company has a proven, audited system that is capable of consistently delivering what it promises. It's all about reliability and predictability.
Now, the shift to the 2015 version of the standard was a pretty big deal, and I know for a lot of people it sounded kind of intimidating. But to put that change into perspective, it really helps to remember this one number.
That's right. Roughly 80% of the requirements from the old 2008 version are still baked right into the 2015 version. So, while the new stuff, like risk-based thinking and integrating the system into the business, was significant, it was all built on a very solid, very familiar foundation. It was a major evolution for sure, but it wasn't a complete revolution.
And that leaves us with one final big question to think about. Whether you're considering certification or you've had it for years, the goal isn't just the piece of paper. The goal is to build a stronger, more resilient, and more customer-focused company. So is your system a living, breathing tool that drives real improvement? Or is it just a certificate you hang on the wall? Because that choice, ultimately, is up to you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer.